my daughter's 7. We don't have a diagnosis for her. We've done all the tests. Hopefully halfway through this year, her geneticist said that he might be able to push her case for genome sequencing. So we'll see how that goes. But from an NDIS perspective, I think, yeah, I definitely agree with Janine and what she was saying about it seems like they're just set up now just to cut. That's the feeling I get. But just to tell you a bit about us, our daughter turned 7 late last year. So this year our plan got cut by over 60%. I've got a couple of frustrations with it. In that, first frustration is that it seems that as soon as the child turns 7, they think that there's no hope left. It's like it's early intervention or nothing. And we've been doing early intervention with her since she was 10 months old, but she's a very complex child. And she's making really good progress for her. And it's really good progress. And like as a family, this is really hard because as a family, like I had to significantly reduce my work hours in order to support her as much as she needed to be supported. And as a family, our goal is that in the future, when she's an adult, she'll be able to live an independent life. And by that, I mean that she'll be able to dress herself, bath herself, feed herself, have a friend or two that she can go out with, like, even if it needs to be supervised. I don't think she'll ever drive, but, you know, whatever. And so we're pushing really hard to get her to the point where her body works well enough for her to do those things. And just to have the funding cut completely is really, really disappointing, disheartening. It's like, honest to God, like I've almost run out of time to put through my appeal because it bowled me, it bowled me over so much that when they cut the funding that I actually couldn't process it for about a month. And I just kind of sat on it, and then my kids all got sick. So now I'm like, finally they're better. So now I've got to work out how do we do this appeal thing. But the thing is that she is making progress. Her reports all state that she's making progress, and it feels as though none of the really good progress as well. Like everyone's confident that eventually she'll be able to achieve all those things. Like we still have to do everything for her, but slowly she's getting better. So sorry, cut me off if I talk too much, but like it leads me to my other thing, which is like before NDIS came along, we had some better start funding or whatever. We were paying a lot out of pocket, but you know, like companies were running occupational therapy and physiotherapy, and I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was like $100 an hour or something, or a bit less, probably a bit less. And like now all of a sudden in the space of just a couple of years, it's like nobody can, like I feel like price gouging is happening with the suppliers. And it's like $190 is an exorbitant amount to be paying per hour. You know, just to kind of try and help our children. So I have a big issue with that. But I think like the NDIS, like it does work when it's good, but I feel like at the moment, I think that they're just trying to cut money off and take money off people. And it's really hard when you're trying to help your child be the best that they can. And now without the NDIS funding, or if this plan runs out, when I run out of money, we'll be forking out $190 an hour out of our own pockets because we're determined not to let our daughter fall by the wayside. We're determined that in the future, she's not going to be a burden on society. She's going to be contributing to society. And this is a huge thing for us. Someone behind the scenes at NDIS that I spoke to recently gave me some information about our file. So after having our planning meeting, what was submitted to the NDIS was my daughter's diagnosis was moderate intellectual disability. So after sitting there with her for 2 hours or something, that's all the information she submitted to NDIS. This child has moderate intellectual disability, and the mum's asking for, whoa, all this money. And I'm like, are you serious? I had no idea, but this lady, I wasn't supposed to find this information out, but this lady's like, yes, so when you put in for your appeal, you're going to need to say, my daughter has, because there's degrees of moderate intellectual disability, right? But my daughter has a whole gambit of physical, intellectual, social, cognitive, speech, every single disability. Yeah, like I'm going to have to like lay that out for them again, but it's really frustrating that it goes back to the training of the planners, I guess, but this planner supposedly has been doing it for a while. So I don't know. Why did you only get from me out of that meeting that my child has moderate intellectual disability? It's mind-boggling. So yeah.